We all want to get the most out of our workouts, right? But what does an effective workout even look like? Is it the one that just completely wipes you out and burns a ton of calories? Or is the secret something else entirely? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down the science and find out.
Okay, picture this. Your day is just jam-packed with commitments, back to back. But then you see it. One tiny open slot, maybe 30 minutes, tops. That's your one and only chance to get some exercise in. So what do?
And this leads us to the million-dollar question. With that little time, what is the most effective thing you can possibly do? How do you make every single second count? This is what I call the efficiency dilemma, and it pretty much always boils down to a choice between two very different and very popular approaches to fitness. On one hand, you've got high-intensity interval training, or HIIT, short bursts of just all-out effort, followed by a quick rest. And on the other hand, you have low-intensity steady-state cardio, or LISS. Think longer workouts at a steady, manageable pace, like a good brisk walk. Now, HIIT is incredibly popular for a reason. It's the perfect workout when you're short on time. But its real secret sauce is the afterburn effect. Because the workout is so intense, your body has to work harder to recover, which means your metabolism stays revved up and you keep burning extra calories for hours after you're done. But what if efficiency isn't just about pushing yourself to your absolute limit? Let's quantify a much simpler type of movement: walking. The science here is actually fascinating, and it shows us how we can turn a simple walk into a seriously powerful workout. To really get into the data, we need to talk about a unit called a MET, or metabolic equivalent of task. Just think of it as a universal measuring stick for how intense an exercise is. One MET is the energy you burn just sitting still, doing nothing. So we can measure any activity as a multiple of that. So a brisk, moderate-paced walk clocks in at around 4 METs. That means you're using 4 times the energy of just sitting on the couch. But here's where it gets really interesting. That number isn't fixed. We can actually play with it. You can seriously boost the energy cost and the effectiveness of your walk by tweaking 3 simple things: your speed, adding some weight, and finding an incline. So let's look at adding weight. The simple act of walking with a weighted backpack, which is called rucking, is a total game changer. The data shows it can burn 2 to 3 times more calories than just walking the same distance without that extra weight. It's so simple, but wow, is it effective. Now for that third variable, incline. And this is where it gets kind of shocking. Military research found that even a 1% increase in the slope, just 1%, can cause a huge spike in how many calories you burn. You know that small hill on your usual route? Yeah, it's making a much bigger difference than you think. So we can track METs, we can count calories, we can measure the incline. It's all very precise, very scientific. But does that data really tell the whole story? What if the secret to a truly great workout isn't something you can find on a fitness tracker at all? To explore that idea, let's look at this global phenomenon called parkrun. It gives us a completely different and maybe even more powerful perspective on what actually keeps us motivated to move. If you haven't heard of it, parkrun is basically a huge network of free, volunteer-led 5K events that happen in parks every single Saturday morning. The key thing here is its whole vibe. It is not a race. It's all about participation. It welcomes everyone from super fast runners to people walking for the first time, and even folks who just want to volunteer. A really interesting Australian study dug into who actually sticks with parkrun, and the results are pretty telling. While, yeah, the vast majority, over 76%, were few-timers who only came a couple of times, there was this dedicated group of maintainers. They kept showing up week after week for years. So what was their secret? So what makes these maintainers keep coming back? As this quote says, it's not about getting a new personal best. The research all points to something much deeper: a sense of belonging, a sense of identity, and a sense of purpose. Study after study on people who do parkrun shows that the most powerful reasons they continue are social. These events literally reduce loneliness, they create real community connections, and they give a huge boost to happiness and mental health. In fact, tons of people report that the benefits they get from just volunteering are as profound as the ones from running or walking. So, this brings us to the most important part of all of this. We've seen the hard signs of efficiency, and we've seen the powerful human side of community. Now, let's put it all together. A truly effective workout, one that lasts in the long run, isn't just about one thing. It's more like an equation. It's about balancing the appeal of an efficient, data-driven workout with those fundamental human needs for community, for enjoyment, and for a sense of purpose. And this brings us full circle to what might be the single most important truth in fitness. Like the quote says, ultimately, the most effective workout is the one you can consistently stick to. It's not the hardest one. It's not the most scientifically perfect one. It's the one you actually do, week in and week out. So that leaves us with one final question to think about. We spend so much time looking for the one best workout, but maybe the better question to ask is, what's your consistency equation? What's the unique mix of data, community, and just plain joy that won't just get you moving today, but will keep you moving for life?